just to recap, at the very end of the last session, you arrived at Razor Hill. Razor Hill is quite a small city. It's not. It has not 3 buildings. It has quite a lot of orchestral buildings, but a lot. Some of them are, of course, way bigger because, of course, those are administration or a barrack, for example. Other are a bit more modest, like a innkeeper and a smith, and of course you will see there are different type of houses. Some are simple tents that people live on it, and others are like 3 floor buildings so that they can put more families and people in there. It's quite populated, and you did catch the name of Twisted Fingers from last session, which didn't bring too much joy from the guard that was telling you it. As you reach Razor Hill, you go to seek Farash, accompanied by the guards. Once you arrive at the administration building, which is quite a tall one, we are speaking of something like 20 meters high, if that makes sense for our American spheres. And it is quite a round one. As you enter in it, Deodori, you do get a lot of eyebrows and not that friendly looks, but it's not only you, it's the group in general, because, well, you guessed a bit, Deodori is a bit looking half orc and half elf, and the elf is those features are a bit putting a lot of attention to the group. But without any quarrel with anybody, you finally reach at the hall where Farash is. Farash is you see an old man with a bit of gray hair. He has an eye patch, and beneath the eye patch, you clearly see a big scar, like a sword or hex scar. And you clearly see that it's a man that is becoming very old and a bit tired of the work. As you see the group approaching, he yells, "Oh, what now?" As the guards...
Okay.
Yes?
I was gonna say, Deodori, she just like puts her hand, her fist over her heart as a salute. And she's gonna say, we've come with news of an attack on Razor Hill. We assembled in the Valley of Trials, and we're here to stand in defense of the Horde.
More worries, are you telling me? That's right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Approach and tell me more about it. As you approach them, 2 guards though approach and are on the sides of Farash. So, tell me actually 2 things. What are you? Did you flee the Alliance and you work now for the Horde, or what kind of person are you? Because at first glance, I think you are from Tira's guard keep.
She is going to shake her head and say, "No, the blood of Draenor runs through my veins. My father is Ramish. He was a orc that followed Thrall. I'm looking for him. You're
Ah,
correct. My mother is an elf, and I'm just as much as of both of them.
well, I hope that you do not cause any trouble because the last thing that I want in Razor Hill is more trouble. So tell me, what is that great news that you are going to share me?
Um, yeah, the she'll pull out the two sets of orders she has.
Mm-hmm.
The Tier's Guard ones, and she'll hand this forward and say there were uh, Tier Guard. There were Tier Guard soldiers on the valley, or on the roads around the Valley of Trials. They were attacking innocent travelers. We killed them, and they had this order, but I can't decipher it. And then she'll
It makes
okay,
no, continue, continue.
and she'll pull out the orders she got from Amtuk about the centaurs and say this one was easier to read. There are centaurs amassing in the south. They plan on attacking Razor Hill directly. Some human merchants off our mercenaries off the coast killed a couple of them, though. I think there's some sort of conflict between them we can exploit and perhaps avoid the whole raid entirely.
Hmm. Well, as you say as well, it puts a small smile. Well, that's actually some good news somehow. Uh, give me. There you are back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. For some reason, it just tried to connect me to a call with Willow.
Okay.
I still see the call from your phone joined in. Did you close Discord on your phone?
No, I did not. My phone is calling you. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
No worries. No worries. No worries.
I was able to go to the armory now. I want better armor.
Well, 2 seconds, young orc. I can maybe even provide some other stuff, but before, tell me. No, not tell me. Give me those 2 reports. I will put it on the hands of my trusted advisor, and they will be able to decipher it.
Okay, she does so.
Many thanks. Well, those 2 news are quite good. We have a lot of weapons in here, and not weapons, armor in here. And you did something that is quite well for the horde. But could I give you even more tasks for the hordes and not easy ones? Or are you just a group of adventuring that just got ambushed and somehow found that other paper?
So we don't really know what we are. What we will do, what we must to fight.
I like your spirit. Well, Razor Hill is quite in a dangerous situation. Even though we are near Orgrimmar, we have Tier's Guard Keep that is being a pain in the ass. We have the Burning Blades that kidnaps people and is somehow in the north of Razor Hill. We don't know exactly where is their place of operation. And then there are those damn quill boards that have entrenched themselves in an alliance lair that you could deal to. And finally, I don't know. What can I give you more tasks? I think that's about it. My memory is not that good, but I do think I said everything that I could say right now.
Is there a board that you have to refer to? You put some stuff on the board and we come back to it when we want to do it.
Just a quick question, please. Are you far from your mic, because it's a bit hard to hear you?
Out of this. I was trying to talk in a low accent.
Ah, okay, okay. Well, then I just need to ask to repeat. Sorry, my bad.
I pretty much said, is there like a task board that you can put like the tasks on a board, and if we finish one task, we go to the next one, and you know that we done it by us taking it down type thing.
Not we. It's a small city. Even though it's a city, we don't have that. So usually, if there is anything that can be done, you can actually go to me, because I am the regional chief in here, and yeah, and I know about any troubles in here that you couldn't deal with, and I don't know. I always guess that you can always go to the innkeeper. He always has a talent to gather rumors and know about the latest duties and so on that the people need.
Well, it's kind of to be expected because a lot of travelers go through there.
Well, then, dear travelers, if you are interested in one of those missions that I said about the burning blades, or yes, I remember now, the twisted fingers. If you could investigate the twisted fingers and find where those members are, because we are enemies from the outside and inside. Like the twisted fingers are like the lowest scums of the horde. They sell things to the Kira's guard keep, by my understanding and some reports that I've read. So that's another thing that I can mention. You can deal with the burning blade, the quill boars, dealing something with the Tira's guard keep that I don't have too much information. Maybe you can check it with Gartok, or you can deal with the twisted fingers. And there is finally the last thing that you just mentioned, that attack that is being. Well, Razor Hill is full of opportunity for those that may want to grab it.
We will talk over to our party, and we're gonna go to armory now. We'll come back to you.
Sure. What do the rest of the group do outside of please goes to the armory?
Yeah, Deodori's gonna try and find some merchants with him. She wouldn't care necessarily as much about armor, but she still wants to go and find a hat.
Okay.
I need arrows, so I'm gonna go to the armory too.
Quick updates for you, Queen, Osamoto rather. You don't need to use arrows. I don't want you to put those numbers and put yourself in that pain. Just to inform you.
Oh, I was tracking them more smart like a good hunter.
Sorry, I just want, if you want, you can still maintain it, but it's just that I want to improve your quality of life.
Okay.
Deodori, do me a perception check.
Okay. Would you allow it as an investigation of her, asking around for somebody?
Sure, you can do that.
Okay. Oh, first roll, not crit.
Okay. So Blaze, Samoto, Samuto, Gorum, and Anyu, you reach the armory with ease, actually, because it's there is smoke coming from the chimney and so on. So it was quite easy to find it. You see, yes.
The guard did point it out when we first got there. I asked where the armory was, so I know where it is. When we first got to this place, I asked where the armory was.
Yeah,
He pointed it out.
because he started walking like straight towards it, and Daedor was like, "Should you?"
So finding the armory is not the problem for me.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, it was quite easy to identify it too
Yeah.
from afar. But you reached the armory first because you were impatient to get some lovely armor, and you see a middle-aged orc alone working on the smith. You do see that there are different other places to like a workbench for the smith to work, but somehow the two others are empty. As you approach the middle-aged orc, it turns to you and says, "How can I help you?"
Loktarogar, my friend.
Loktarogar, what do you need?
I'm an adventurer seeking better armor.
Better armor. That's good.
I
So
can see what you provide.
what do you need?
Um, I would start off with a good helmet of some sort.
What? Sorry.
A helmet.
Helmet. Okay. Helmet. Let me see if I have anything like that. Um, an helmet. Yeah, I have here an helmet, but it's not the most impressive one. It's like a ring mail helmet. It protects, but it's not the best in my opinion.
Mm, you have anything in the way of a gauntlet, then?
Sorry, you have really to like. If you could go on definition of Discord and put the volume a bit louder, I believe could it could perhaps work. Or you have that option to increase your volume from the windows.
My voice saying is max.
Are you saying your voice output on Discord is maxed
Yeah.
out?
Um,
I've got you at 170%, and you're okay. Hades, do you have the option to turn him up on your side?
yeah, 200% already, and I have the
okay.
volume.
Yeah.
So I have an idea, but for the sake of it, I will. For the sake of the session, please, I will tell you about that later. You just need to speak a bit louder if it's possible for me.
Okay.
So, apart from the helmet, what did you ask?
Gauntlets or like a belt.
I have a half plate belt if you want. Again, you seem like to be the kind of man that wants to have it magically and so on. I don't have sadly that. I just have like I have the base and then yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll
I
go
mean,
for aesthetic reasons then. You have a helmet with horns.
yes, we have a helmet with horns. It is well, there is studded leather to put over the head, and then there is iron to protect with the horns. So if you want, that's 12 gold.
I'll take it.
Well, you
Oh.
got a nice a nice grunt helmet for yourself. As you did the first buy, Samoto and Anyo, you finally reach the armory too, and you see Gorum being there already and buying a fancy helmet.
I think Anyo was headed with Deodori.
Oh, didn't you?
Yeah.
My bad. I heard for some reason that you said armory. Um, well, then Samoto, you reach Gorum at the armory. What you do?
I do you have any other helmets for sale?
On other helmets. Like I said, I have a ring mail here, but it's not the most fanciest. Like it protects, but it's not anything fancy.
I don't care about how armor looks, only how well I can keep arrows from my head.
Well, it's quite costly if you like. It's 30 gold piece.
And Chandler's going. Would you happen to have anything cheaper?
Well, I have the same the same as this young orc here. A grunt helmet with some horns. Are you interested in that or not that fun that much?
I look at the shopkeep and I just shake my head, saying, "Thinking about it now, It's better to hunt when you have nothing obscuring your vision, because that sounds smart." And I move my ass away from the shopkeep to make it look like I totally know what I'm doing.
Tell me, young orc, have you time in front of you?
Pardon?
Do you have time in front of you?
Time?
Yes, time.
Got some time.
Well, I don't know if you will be able to do that. What I'm going to ask, but
Let's shoot.
you seem like to be the kind of orc that is able to handle himself in situation.
That's definitely me.
Uh, have you heard about the burning blades?
I heard briefly about it.
I cannot tell. Let's go straight to the point. My daughter is missing, and the Burning Blade has a reputation to kidnap people for whatever they are doing. Do you believe you could help a simple old man?
Yeah. Shouldn't be a problem, honestly. Just a burning blade, right?
Yeah, to Burning Blade finding her. I mean,
It's not
Make-
just me and him. We have a whole party.
oh, that Torren was with you. I didn't know. Well, that's actually better if there are two people. Listen.
There's 4 of us in total.
Look, I only make simple weapons and armor in here. Nothing too fancy, but I might can give you my ancient, not ancient, but my old battle axe if you recover my daughter.
Oh, sounds fair.
The only thing that I can tell you, but I don't know where to guide you. She was kidnapped like a week ago, and she had found like a young orc that she had fallen in love with, and 2 days later, she was missing after that.
How young is your daughter?
In human age, to make the conversion sense, she is like 20-year-old human, but in orc,
Okay.
a young
Uh,
adult.
Can you give a basic description of what she may look like, so we know what we're looking for?
Sure. Um, blue hair. Quite like she likes to put it on a ponytail there that reach to almost to the end of her shoulder. Like she cuts the hair all around the ponytail. And yes, she looks quite young. She has a small piercing on her left ear, and I don't know. She has not fancy. She has not a fancy dress or clothes. She has just normal clothes of work and as civilians, if you get what I mean.
Well, we'll definitely keep an eye out, and if we come across a brain blade, we will definitely investigate that.
It takes your hand, one of them, and shakes it and says, "Thanks you. If you can find the quickest way possible, I will really be grateful.
Understood.
Bring her alive."
What if we find her dead, though?
Then I need to bury that.
So we still bring back the body.
Yes, if you could do it.
Okay.
And it makes a small, not a small. It makes a sad face, thinking just about that consequence.
I start to find the rest of the people.
Okay. Deodori and Anyo. Deodori, you are trying to. You go actually to a guard and you ask where you can find someone that sells hats. And it talks about and it tells you there is Gawak, a troll merchant, more on the merchant sector of the city, which is on that direction, and it tells you to go a bit to the north. In there you will find a quite well-dressed troll, and it can give you a fancy hat or a simple hat.
Okay, and his name's Garna?
And Skarna.
Okay. Yeah, Deodori is going to head off in that direction.
Okay. You don't have that difficulty to find that troll because it's really in quite luxurious clothes, and he has a fancy hat over him with a big feather, to make it even more with style. And you see on his bench a lot of simple clothes, and from fedoras to normal hats, to really rich hats and so on. Ah, man, how you doing? Need something?
Deodori is just gonna salute and say, Loktar, I'm looking for a hat. You see, I'm half elven and half orcish. And she's gonna point to her ears and say, I'm tired of people staring at these more than my eyes.
Ah, you want to hide your ears. Ah, but it's a bit inconvenient. I mean, I have ears, and you do see on his head that he has 2 holes so that his ears can be put out. Are you sure about that? I mean, when I put hat without those holes, it's a bit a pain and it's inconvenient.
She's gonna nod and say, I wouldn't wear it all the time.
Well, the customer is king. I do have a small hat. Well, tell me a detail. How big do you want your hat? Like, do you want it to be large? Do you want it to be high?
She'll shake her head and say, it can be small, a decent cap, even a bandana to cover my head, any of the sort.
Let me see. I have two proposals for you. I have this one that fits on your head, but your ears needs to, like, your ears are a bit are being seen, sadly. The other option is I have a hat that is bigger than for your head, but it hides the ears. But the problem, of course, is that it's a bit too big. Like, it's not the most fancy and fashionable thing to put on a lady.
She'll look at the big one.
Oh, sure.
What's it look like? Is it like wide brimmed and?
It's clearly made of clothes, and it's quite black with some purple on a purple circle, and it's a bit like actually like a wizard hat. It has that triangle trying to reach to a point, but it's not a triangle that is that precise, meaning that it makes that
It's kind of bent.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I mean, she'll go with that one, I suppose, because the other one doesn't serve the purpose. She'll look at it and say, how much?
Do you want to add some feathers? It's a bit more costly, but it's really beautiful.
She's going to shake her head and say, I haven't had time for vanity since I left Dalaran.
Ah, you're from Dalaran. I have great things from there. I talked to a goblin merchant once. He talked me days about Dalaran. It's a nice place where they make a lot of hats, no?
She nods and says, if you can get past the shield.
Shield? What shield?
And this player question, we're in the point of history where Dalaran's
Yes.
closed off from the world.
Yes.
Yeah. She'll say after the city was attacked, the mages were kind of very restrictive with who they let in and out. I lived on the outskirts.
That sounds to me like an excuse to make fancy hats and then selling it at high prices.
Mhm.
Well, I can put some feathers for sure. Do you want 2 or 1?
If it's not costing her extra, she's gonna say 2 feathers.
It's 20 gold in total with the two feathers. And to me, imagine it like a black hat with a purple circle, and like 2 feathers that are quite colorful on the right side, pointing to the back.
So, can she try and haggle with this hat? Because, like, after she sees it, she's gonna say, like, oh, this hat is marvelous. And it's not exactly what I'm looking for, but I feel like I'm the only customer you would have for it.
Do try to do a persuasion check.
Okay. Yeah.
Look, somehow people need to do their stuff to make that stuff and so on, and I buy the hat at the lower cost for a merchant, and then need to sell. I cannot go lower.
She's going to nod, and she'll pull out 20 gold. And as she's going to pull out the Idols of the Wild and say, would you happen to know someplace or somebody in town who might be interested in buying some of these? They're centaur relics.
Centaur's relics, huh? It gives a deep look to it, and well, they are a bit useless. I mean, you can try to sell it to a general merchant, but I mean, what is that? It's not even magical, I believe, and yeah, there's nothing fancy in it.
She's gonna nod and say, yes. And do you know anyone who would collect trinkets like this?
No, not that I know of. Perhaps there is I think in Ratchet there is someone that loves to collect idols, but that's about it, I can tell you.
Okay. And after she's like trying on the hat, she'll just like ask him and say, by the way, I heard the Twisted Fingers have been causing trouble in the town. Have they done anything?
Do not mention that name in here in the merchant location. They are everywhere. Those fuckheads.
She's going to nod and say, so they've caused you trouble.
No, not me. But I know a friend that is a merchant. He got killed by those thugs.
She's gonna say, was there an investigation? Was anything found out?
Yeah.
Was there justice ever served?
Well, the Twisted Finger got their names from killing their victim and cutting their 2 fingers after the thumb to represent that that they killed there, and they make that common mark on their victims. But yes, there was an investigation, but how can you find anything on a group that puts no trace of them? Like, maybe they have a magical item that makes them undetectable or something else, but like they don't even lose a hair piece so that a mage could do some divination and try to find it. Like, they are silence. They work in complete silence, and I don't know. I think this is a great trouble in Razor Hill, because whatever that organization is creating a lot of chaos in here.
She's going to nod and say, so they move through the shadows. They attack those who seek them, and they don't leave any trace of their presence.
I mean, they are smart, and I'm sure that they make a lot of money, but because by my understanding they contraband stuff that Razor Hill do to Tier's guards, and Tier's guards give some valuable items, and then they sell it even to other organizations that are like the Burning Blades or the goblins in Ratchet and that city in the Stranglehorn Valley, I think. I forgot the name, but you get what I mean.
She's going to nod and say, how do they recruit inside the city? Obviously, someone has to have heard about them if even if they're leaving no trace, their name's known in whispers.
The thing is that they really are experts in camouflage, in secrecy, because we don't know exactly what happened. Some people are kidnapped and we never see them anymore. We don't find them dead. We don't find anything. The worst case that people are telling is that they might be sold to slavers. But again, I do not know how to recruit anything like that. They are quite. If there is one organization full of mystery, it would be the Twisted Finger.
Theodore is going to spit. Just like slavers, almost worse than the scourge.
I understand, but I understand the thrill of money too. I mean, there is I know there is something in the barrens in the north. Some goblins have taken some people as slave, and it's extremely profitable. But again,
Now, question: slavery is allowed in the Horde, right? The player question.
Yes and no. Troll is doing, by my lore understanding on slavery, Troll is doing everything to reduce slavery, but just like peons treatment is better under Troll, it do not mean that people treat peons and badly and that slavery has ended.
Okay. Theodore is just going to ask Garnet, are there any slavers in the city we can talk to? Perhaps anyone
in
selling their
Malaysia-
wares?
In like, you know, Troll made law that slavery is a bit forbidden, and we are quite near Durotar. We are in Durotar, I mean. So slaves here is a bit hard, but I can believe you can find slave people in Crossroads.
Ooh, that's a far way away, too. Alright, she's going to nod.
As you talk, you see a young orc that is Gorm approaching you, and you see a troll Gorm that is quite impressed by your physique.
I go up to Theodore and whisper in her ear. I think we got another problem we might have to deal with. We'll talk about it later.
She's going to nod and look at Garnock and say, thank you for all the information and the wonderful hat. She puts her hand over her heart again, her fist.
It puts like elevates his hand, his right hand, and makes like the symbol of money with his two fingers. Well, if you could give a small donation for everything that I told, I would be grateful.
So she did pay for the hat.
Yes.
When he does that, she's going to give him the 4 idols, and she'll say, "Well, they're collectible. We might not have time to sell them, but maybe you could sell them to that merchant in Ratchet."
Well, many thanks. I might do something with it, that's for sure. Have a nice day.
All right. She's gonna step out with Goroman and the Sumato and Anyo.
Sumato, you said you want to do something else, no? That you are.
I'm just kind of walking through the streets, like watching people, seeing if I see anything shady or unusual.
Do a perception check. But just do the perception. I before I go on your adventure, Anyo, on your side, what do you do if you do anything?
Nothing, I was just following Theodore.
Okay. Somoto, you actually don't see anything to do another perception check. Okay.
Wow.
Basically, what happened, Samut, on your side, as you are moving around the city on the main streets, you see, you see normal people doing their stuff, and so on. You stopped at a moment to see a small tent where clearly it's a small kitchen. And there's a small sign that says, "Welcome to Cook Torka Regional Master Dish." That's the name of the restaurant. And as you are paying attention to the tent and the smell of fresh meat that is being grilled, you do see that there is a small troll child that is trying to pick up your wallet.
He hasn't taken it. He's just trying to, right?
Exactly.
If I turn around to face him and I grab his wrist, but not like tightly, I just like stop him from doing.
Sure. Do. Oh no, that's easy, I think. Unless. Oh, okay. Bad news. As you try to take him, it quite easily escapes your grasp, as if it was made to escape your grasp, literally, and begins to run away.
I call out to him, "Come back here, boy."
It looks back. It continues to run.
I check for anything important missing because I'm not gonna chase like a child. Yeah.
It seemed that it was just about to steal the gold that was in your wallet, but that's about it. Or Porsche, whatever it is that you put your money on it.
Okay. Since there's nothing important missing, and I'm going to go inside the food place.
As you enter, you see an orc and his wife preparing the meals, and with open arms, it tells you, "Ah, a Toran friends, enter, enter. We have the most delicious foods in here, in all Duratar." Do you take a seat?
Yes, I sit down. If there's a bar, I sit down at the bar.
Sure, sure. There is not a bar. There is like a chair and tables and so on. As you sit, do you want some boar meat with some veggies, with some cactus apples and so on? It's delicious.
Sounds wonderful. I'll have it.
Sure, sure. Just to tell you in advance, it's 2 gold pieces. As you wait a moment, your dish finally arrives, and it's quite delicious. But the cook Torka approaches you and sits with you on the table. Well, the next day there is not too many merchants, too many clients, but I hope that you are enjoying your dish.
It's quite good, even for the foods I've had here.
Heart is filled with warmth when you sit. You seem to be like the kind of you are a hunter. I see you with the bow and so on. You seem like someone that could be able to do something for me, actually.
For cooks such as you, I would be happy to help with anything you need.
Ah, you are a kind soul. Um, there is I'm my stock on kudo meat is a bit low. What I want to ask is, I know there is an old kudo traveling is in Duratar, but I don't think it will take too much long before it leaves Duratar and goes to the Desolants, and uh, they die there. The kudos in general. What I want of old age, what I want to ask is if you are able to kill that kudo and yeah, like just to kill it. After that, I can send some people to gather it, and yeah, I could get some fine. I could make some fine meat, kudo meat with it, and so on. I mean, I'm not a rich person, but if you do that, I will be grateful.
I look at him and I say, I'd be happy to help, but only if I can have some of that kodo meat to take with me for my journeys.
Sure. I can even, if you want, you wait one day once once I have the kudo in me, and I can put it in some special package so that you can eat of it in your journey.
Wonderful. Then you have yourself a deal.
Ah, you are very kind. Just remember, you don't have too many days because I don't know. We are perhaps 2-3 weeks. There is still time, but uh, in those weeks that will come, he will prepare himself to move to Desolance, and once he is in Desolance, he's really very far. I cannot no more send my team to that place.
So 2 weeks before he'll be gone forever.
Yes, looking at the age and so on, it's somewhere by that age. What I would recommend is that on that cliff there, and it points at the cliff, there is a watchtower. You reach there at the top. There is an orc grunt that you can ask for a spyglass. Use the spyglass to detect the kudo, and yeah, you could go get him.
It's most useful. We'll discuss with the rest of my allies and see if we can track him down and kill him for you.
Ah, you are really the best. Ah, you see, honey, the Torrents are our best allies.
Anything for a good chef.
Well, anything for you. And he waves the hand and goes back to his work.
So I'm gonna continue eating my meal, and after I finish, I'm gonna get up, pay, and then leave to find the rest of the party.
Sure, like I said, it was 2 gold that meal, so yeah. After a moment, the group finally encounter itself. But before that, before Somoto joins the group, Gorm, do you want to do something with the group before or not?
Yeah, I pulled everyone else off the side that I could see, and I'm like, before we discuss anything further, we need to find our last foreign gems, and then we need to discuss everything that we know, and just regather all the information that we've collected. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, Deodori's down.
So let's find
Somoto.
Somoto.
After a moment of searching for each other, you finally yes, you finally regroup together in the middle of the town square. You do see something quite special on your side, Deodori. You get less eyebrows and stares than usual.
Hey, the hat's working.
It's magical.
Mhm.
Anyway, Gorum, what were you saying?
Is there any spot that I can see that is more not necessarily hidden, but out of the way, so we can talk a little bit in private?
Sure. You find like a small alley between two houses, and you regroup there. You are alone from unless the walls can hear you. You are in a quiet place.
As we're going to
Inside the walls have ears.
can Deodori make a perception check and just see like if anybody's paying them attention?
Likewise, can I try and see if that child's anywhere?
Do a perception check. Dedori, on your side, the only eye that you catch is like a grunt that occasionally looks at the group, but that's about it. You create an okay.
Well, no. I'm just reading this. Once we get to the alleyway, she's gonna just like create an illusion of like a stack of barrels,
Okay.
like behind us.
Okay, no problem. On your side, Samuto, your perception check to find the small troll. Samuto?
Yeah, I just
okay.
have to actually get it.
Ooh, that's a
Sadly-
great roll.
Sadly, as you watch and you actually find like children running and so on, that specific troll that you saw earlier, you are not seeing it, sadly.
Okay, I make no attempt to like do anything else. I'll just follow the rest of the party then.
So I can ask that blacksmith to find his daughter by the burning blade. He didn't give me much information other than a brief description of what she may look like. I told them that if we come across a burning blade, we will investigate it. What did you find out?
I have been given a task for a great hunt. There is a coder wandering through these lands, and a wonderful chef has asked me to find it so he can make some delicious food. He told me that there was a way that we could survey the majority of these lands just up there, and I point to the cliff. There's a grunt up there that has there's a grunt up there in a watchtower that has a spyglass that we could use to see if we could find the beast or anything else we need to find.
That'll be very useful.
I have a question for you, Hades.
Yes.
Are we going with the base spyglass out of like the player's handbook? Because like that's worth a butt ton of money.
I know about that, but you need just to add one detail, that is, spyglasses are the objects are not the same value. Like, it's still expensive as spyglass, but it's not that expensive that you are thinking.
Okay.
Price
Yeah.
tag.
I was just wondering if we could use it for something else. Okay, so Deodori will speak up and say, we've...
What I'm saying is even better. It means that you can get a spyglass at a lower price than usual.
Oh, well, no, she wanted to use it as bait for the twisted fingers of like, look, this super valuable thing we have. But yeah, she's going to speak up and say, I've heard whispers that the burning fingers the twisted fingers are all around the merchants' quarters. They killed a merchant a few weeks or actually, she doesn't know the time frame. They killed a merchant a little while ago, and the killer was never found out. However, it's believed that their two main dealings for income is stealing confiscated goods from Tira's guard keep and dealing with slavers. If we wanted a lead on whoever that traitor is inside of the city, I think we find them through the Twisted Fingers, and I think we find the Twisted Fingers through one of those two sources.
At the mention of slavers, I scoff and like I obviously look disdained and like disgusted.
There is one detail that you do want to know. Daedori, what is your spell DC?
My spell DC is going to be 14.
Okay.
And she's crafted 3 barrels because it doesn't take her concentration, so she puts, one, another, and then like one in the middle stacked up high.
That's not a problem. The problem is there is a grunt approaching the barrels, and it looks weirdly to it and says, this wasn't here a moment ago.
What, just get arrested because we're being suspicious?
It puts actually the hand over the barrel and sees that his hand is moving through it. Illusion. What could that be? Who could be doing that? It leaves slightly the small owl and looks around if it finds any mage or wizard or whatever. What do you do in the meantime?
As this is happening, Daedori is just gonna he's a peon?
It's a grunt.
Oh, it's a grunt? Yeah.
No, you can't kill this one.
No, not. I was thinking about another illusion of just like, grunt, get over here and work. But she's not gonna do that. She'll
Just to give some details, because in case you are thinking of fighting, it's while you are in a small hall, on the side, like on the side where he is, there is actually people that are moving and so on. It's not like overpopulated, but there's still like a lot of people that are moving. But on the other side, you can see where it's the end of the hall. That there are like 2-3 people moving, but not too much.
Yeah. Daedori is just gonna like look back at the party and say, Grunt is trying to discern through my illusion. If we've discussed everything we need to discuss for now, I can drop it.
I don't think we really need illusion in the first place, but
she'll well, actually, I don't think she can cancel them. After a minute, they just fade away. But yeah, she won't. Oh, say that again.
I believe you can dispel any illusion as you wish, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, yeah, she'll just let the magic fade, and behind the barrels, the group is talking.
It looks back again and sees.
As it's saying, I start talking about food that my mom gave me when I was young. I'm like, I had the best. Like, so it doesn't seem like we're trying to be suspicious. We're just talking normally.
It do approach the group and asks, so you might not be responsible for the kind of illusion with the bells just a moment ago.
Wait, where'd the barrels go?
The bells that were here a moment, like 2 seconds ago.
Daedori, she's honorable. She's gonna nod and says, "Yes, that was those were my illusions. We required privacy.
Well, if you require privacy, you can always go to the innkeeper. Well, what you did there is not. You do not put any infractions directly. I would recommend that you pay attention to your magic, ma'am.
She's gonna nod and say, "In the future, I'll be more cautious of what spells I weave."
He shrugs it off and says, "For the horde," and leaves.
I literally yell, "For the horde!"
Cops, am I right? I'm kidding.
He got a bit intimidated by your. No, not intimidated. He got like surprised by your yell, Gorum.
I was also wondering, since I got my helmet, can I add 1 to my intimidation?
+1 in intimidation for what? Sorry.
Because my helmet.
Sadly, no. All of those things will be added with. You will see if you don't do a mistake, which I hope you don't do. You will see what will happen later.
Okay.
Let's say this way: there is a good way to get some nice things today, but.
And then there's a bad way. There's always a bad way.
Anyway, as you finish to talk about all the details, just to repeat, the Kuda mission, the missing daughter, and finally
Twisted fingers.
for the twisted fingers in general, and for us talking about the burn, repeating a bit everything that we just mentioned, and Tira's guards, and the quill boars.
If Somato's like displaying vitriol towards the slavers, she's going to look at him and say, "Look, I don't like the practice either, but I think for what we'd need, it would be as simple as posing as somebody there to buy one, and then asking them about their supplier."
I refuse to be involved in such a heinous thing.
Shall we put a stop to it then?
What attempt? Sorry.
I just asked him, shall we put a stop to slavery then?
Yeah.
I have no qualms about trying to stop it, but acting in such a way with such people around disgust.
Well, I think our first step should be going to the watchtower and taking a look around. Have a good survey of the area.
Deodori's gonna nod and say, "I agree."
Okay, no problem. As you go towards the cliff, you do find like a passage that it's not it's not the stairs. It's more like an elevation, and another elevation that goes more to the top. You finally reach the top of the cliff. One thing that I do want to mention is that it's about to end the afternoon, and like there is still sun. Like imagine like 7 p.m. And you reach for the watchtower. Again, this time you need to climb even more because it's not a small watchtower. As you climb like 4 stairs, 4 floors up, you finally reach that level. You see a grunt with a spyglass, watching a bit everywhere. As he pays, as he becomes aware of your presence, he looks at you, salutes, and says, "So, what do you want? I'm simply here observing if I find any strange activities."
Hey, Dory.
She's gonna. Okay.
We've been requested to. We've come to request use of the spyglass you are currently using. We ourselves are trying to track down people that are committing heinous acts around Razor Hill.
You are talking about the twisted fingers?
And the burning blade.
Hmm. I do see some shadows because, like, don't get me wrong, it's a good spyglass, and you can really see far, but you cannot see with precision. If you understand what I mean, like it do give it do permit to see from miles, but beyond that limit, I can only see some figure shadows moving and so on. But that's, I don't think, is really a problem. I did see some activities on this side, and you look at the map, everybody. I did see some activities on this side of the mountains. Some of it was flying, which I suspect are RPs, but others were on the ground. Perhaps it's the twisted fingers, or perhaps it's the burning blade, or perhaps once more it's those goddamn humans.
To the north?
Yes, on the north, like, you don't take the road, you take the movement to go to the right and climb the mountains, and it's a bit hard to find them, in all fairness.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I don't know where they are precisely, but yeah, they move on that direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Theodore will
Yeah.
whisper to the party, I heard the slavers were to the north. That's likely them.
Can I, please, Mr. Grunt? Can I please use the spyglass to see for myself?
For what reason? What are you trying to seek?
I just want to see a clear. I can't English. I just want to see a clearer view of what you've described with my own eye.
Okay, do me a perception check first.
Let me load the skill sheet.
Ah, nice. It tells you, sure, I can do that. Come on this side of the tower, and we shall observe. And meet with a bit luck, but like I said, it's almost the end of the day. It's becoming even harder to see, as the shadows from the trees from the mountain covers way better their hideout and their movement, obviously. But you take the glass and you try to see, and what you see is that there is a small group of 4 people moving together, but you are not able to identify because it's really far, and you see rather 4 figures or silhouettes, if you want. You are not able to distinguish if it's human or so and so on, but you see them going to the south.
So towards Razor Hill.
Perhaps, you are not sure.
So okay, to the direction of Razor Hill.
Yes.
Looking around, can I see any of the other things that look like looking out for, like the Kodo or the Quillboars or anything?
The on this direction where you're watching, you cannot see any kudo, but you can put yourself in another location and with the assistance of the grunt, and you do find quite easily a kudo sleeping over a hill, and he is quite near. You clearly identify him as a kudo, and it's not a shadow figure anymore. He is like, let me check. He's like a day and a half far from here, so it's really not that far. And yeah, you see you can clearly see that he's sleeping and that he is a bit old.
So we got a quest over there, over there, over there. Do we have one by itself?
Sorry, one by itself. What do you mean by that?
Do we have one in the south?
Not that you are aware of. Like even with the specs, somebody is not able to see anything. But you might be aware that if there is any problem with the quill boars, it must be from the south, like these regions.
So, just quick question:
Yes.
have we encountered the quill boars before?
Not well. You may have, because you have taken a long trip to reach Durotar.
I mean, like with this party.
Yes, we have. Deodori saw one on a hillside, and Amtuk confirmed it was a quill boar.
Yes, exactly. And he was riding a board and he escaped. And that was in the middle of the road towards the Razor Hill.
Okay, so after we've looked for everything, I give us the spyglass back to the grunt, and I say, "Thank you for your assistance. That was most useful."
Well, not a problem. My shift is almost done too, so have a nice evening, dear Torin.
I nod and say, "You too," and turn around back to the party.
Right. Deodori is gonna speak up and say, while I feel our other tasks are more important, I don't believe they're on any specific time deadline. Do you want to hunt your Kodo?
Of course, any time is good for a hunt.
I would say finding the daughter would also be a time crunch as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you implied she was dead already.
Sorry, no.
Okay, I misunderstood that. That was my bad.
So
Yeah, Deodori would be all about helping the peeps.
no problem. So direction Kudo.
Direction a bed would be a good one first.
Okay, no problem. As the evening is about to reach, I don't have a name for the for the inn, but let me just check.
The Kodo Horn Inn.
The Taurus Stalker Inn.
It's called the Orc Honor.
Work on
You
it.
reach the inn, and again, it's quite it has a quite architecture as style, and it has multiple chambers. But just to imagine it, it has a big hall that is a circle, and then there are a lot of doors on the walls, because it means that you can go to their room from there. As you enter the inn, it's quite packed tonight. I want all of you to do a perception check.
All right.
Ooh, my first roll for the day.
I've been rolling perception like garbage, even though I'm trained in it. Believe.
Well,
Nice.
you gave
Another 11.
Ayo, Gorum, and Samoto. There's as you enter the room. There is a lot of orcs and trolls and torrents and even Forsaken that are having fun on that place. But you do catch immediately. Sorry.
Have I seen a Forsaken before?
Yes, there was one in the Valley of Trials we talked to.
Okay.
The one that everyone like kind of said to shut up to.
Yeah.
You do know about the Forsaken, even like from Orgrimmar or anything like that. It's not like something completely new. As you enter the inn, you see you three catch the eye of a group, and you too catch the eyes of them, and as you see an angry troll looking at you, it puts it takes his dagger and pop over his table, looking at the group. He's not alone, just to describe some stuff, and is more on the right side of the inn. As that happened, and that catch your eyes a bit and put you in a bit of tense situation. There is the innkeeper that reaches with ale on his hand and says, "Ah, good evening. How may I help?"
We are looking for a place to stay tonight.
Ah, sure. I have 2 chambers for 2 people. Yeah, that's. I have places to rest and so on. Do you want any meals, any dinner, or something like that?
Yeah.
Tell me.
So what,
Deodore, you are not doing that because you don't you are not aware of that group yet.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So what do you have to eat?
What do I have to offer? I have meals like a great steak, a ribeye from the from some boars. It's quite delicious and so on. And I have ale, the best ale of Duratar. And he whispers, because I'm the only great in Duratar. I mean,
Your
that-
cockiness will be the end of you one day.
sorry, I didn't quite catch what did you say there. Sorry.
Your cockiness will be the end of you one day.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure there is other people that are trying to create inns and so on. There is a inn in Orgrimmar, but in Duratar, the best known inn is mine. But anyway, you want to take a seat and I serve you dinner?
Sure.
Do you have meals from the chef store? I say.
Sadly, I don't have we had previously had a relationship where he cooked for me, but after some disputes, he decided to do it alone, and I think he's doing well on his side. So sadly, no, it's not the same quality, but it's still very good. The meal site I make.
Well, a meal's a meal.
Well, I remember now. I forgot to put a music called Tavern from World of Warcraft. It would be. Anyway, as you sit each other, well, as you sit on the table and it delivers you the meal and the drinks, you can now, everybody can take out from the inventory. Is anybody of the 3 trying to catch the troll and his group, and like looking at them?
I'm continually watching them. Yes.
Or if I see anyone looking at me like more aggressively, I'm going to go up to them.
Yeah, I mean, can Deodore just be like, what's everybody looking at?
Sure, you can do that. I mean, everybody is a bit looking at those muscular trolls there and orcs that are not looking that friendly. It must be the charm of the muscles that they are looking at. Anyway, Samutsu and Gorum. Well, Anyo, on your side, do you still watch them or?
Yeah, I'll just watch for now.
Okay.
Can Deodori cast Mage Armor on herself?
Mage armor. Sure. I mean, you are not yet aware of the danger exactly, but you can cast it. No
Well,
problem.
I mean, I'm assuming she's noticed because she's looking at everybody make like
Mhm.
dead eyes at these guys.
I go up to them and like, you got a problem with us?
Really quick, is there like a guard table where all the grunts are? All the grunts are sitting?
There are two grunts sitting on a table and enjoying themselves, but they are quite drunk. Gorum, as you put yourself up and try to move towards the group, the troll that watched you badly goes up and approaches you too. As you reach
Deodori's gonna back up Gorum.
as you reach the middle of the room, he puts himself in front of you and tells you, because he's a troll, he's a bit bigger than you. He looks at you and says, "I know your face."
Really? I don't even know my face.
You-
Am I famous of some sort?
Yes, you are quite famous with me. I know you. You killed my father.
I think you got the wrong person.
No, I don't forget that easily.
I haven't killed an orc or troll ever.
Deodori's gonna speak up and say, "Who's your father?"
My father lived a bit on the north of Dorotar in a small hut with my mother, and your friend here killed him.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, so I literally go to push by him.
Perhaps one thing that I might ask is, no, I shouldn't do that. Gorm, what did you say? Sorry.
I'm gonna push by him as like I'm just gonna ignore him. And go up to the rest of the buddies behind, like that was at his other table.
It turns as you do that. It tells you, "Yeah, run, piece of shit."
I laugh. Is there? And I go up to the other buddies. Is your buddy always this aggressive?
No, actually, we don't have that much fight in here. I mean, I don't know exactly that group there. They are, well, adventurer or whatever they call themselves. They reached the town 2 days ago. No, we don't usually have conflict in here. I mean, and if there is conflict, there are two grunts in here, but if there is trouble, grunts will arrive and arrest those people.
Okay, good enough. I go back up to the troll. I'm like, well, do you want to fight me or something? Is that what you're looking for?
Grom, stop being aggressive.
I'm not. I'm just asking what his motive is.
You know my motivation. You killed my father without any remorse when you put his blade in his torso.
How long ago was this?
It was 10 years ago.
So you're telling me I was 8 years old when I killed your parents?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I remember that day exactly.
You know my face looks 100% different from it was.
when I see a face, I remember it quite well, and I never, I never lose what it looked like. And as you do that, three others guys that were with them approached the group, and weirdly enough, even more weirdly, they tell actually the same story. The three others, two orcs and another troll, tells to you, "You killed my father too. You are a monster."
We don't have enough time for these games.
Is there anyone who looked out of place in the tavern?
Out of place.
Deodori.
Do a perception check. And Will, what were you about to say?
I was pointing out that Deodori probably looks the most out of place.
I mean, like magical you looking.
You don't see any person in robe or anything like that, so it seems like everything is all right. There is one thing that I do want to mention is that even though they are drunks, the two grunts are drunk. They do put themselves up and observe what is going to.
Deodor is
happen
going
from
to
afar.
speak up and say, look at Gorum, who has the mask and the helmet, has the helmet, and say, Gorum, where did you get that helmet? Was it crafted or was it looted?
Oh, for the love of God!
Wait, sorry.
You evil man! I know what you've done, and I hate you for it.
Wait, my Discord cut out. What did you say?
Deodori looks at you and says, where did you get the helmet? Was it crafted or was it looted?
I've done this, and I've done this with items before, and I hate you so much. Evil man.
I just bought from the blacksmith. Just before, when I told you I was going to blacksmith, I literally just bought it. We can go to him, and he can confirm that I bought it if you really want.
Take it off. I say.
I take it off.
The chaos right now is fun to imagine. Even though you said communicate and so on.
I may be an asshole. I may be a dick, but I'm not a killer.
Then explain why my father is on the grave.
That's a question you're gonna have to ask someone else, because that's not me.
You are lucky that we are in town, or I would give you a lesson for what we did 10 years ago.
And plus, if an 8-year-old is able to kill your dad, that's pretty sad, to be honest.
Jesus, I stand up and go over to them, and I stand between them both, and I look at Gorum and say, "Go sit back down." And
It
I
has
look over
nothing
at
to do with you, Torin one. It's about that horrible orc there.
It has everything to do with me. You are currently disturbing the peace. Go sit back down and drink, or I'll be happy to get the guards.
Do an intimidation check.
Intimidation's that one.
It makes a big sight and goes back to the table. After it seems like that you put some tranquility to the situation. After a moment, the group leaves.
After they leave, I look at Grom and say, "Next time, don't encourage them. I'd rather not be kicked out of a rather important place because of misunderstandings."
Deodori's gonna look at Gorum and say, "Can I see that helmet of yours?"
I give to her.
Can she do a history check or inspect it for any insignia of maybe there's a regional mercenary or something that used it?
Sure, you can try to do this.
Right. She's just gonna be
you-
turning it over and inspecting it.
as you inspect the to see to find any symbols or anything like that, you don't see anything that catch your eyes. Actually, it's quite really a simple grunt helmet with two horns, and it's quite. It's made like a week or 2 weeks ago. It's not cursed or anything like that.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, as DM, I'm sure.
So wait, from her appraisal, she assumes it was made about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
She's gonna hand it back to Gorham and say, "It's strange that so many of them disliked your face, but they were all drunk, and I think they'd be able to tell between orcs a little bit better." And
I was 8 years old. Like, you think I have the strength to kill a full-grown orc?
well, there were it was only the trolls coming forward and saying that he killed their father, right? Or was it the orcs?
It was the full group. It was weirdly the full group.
Oh yeah,
It was the troll that first came, and then 2 orcs and a troll came and said the same history that their father was killed 10 years ago by Gorham.
Is there a possibility that they were affected by a spell?
It's hard to tell because they left the group. They left the inn.
No, I'm talking to Deidori. If she noticed anything possibly off about them.
Deodori is going to say, no, most spells require verbal and somatic components. If somebody was casting one, we would have noticed it.
Are either of you missing anything? Have either of you gained or lost anything? Because I had an interaction with a troll trying to pickpocket me earlier today.
I guess Deodori will check through her things. Does she still have all her stuff? Because I'm assuming she does.
Yes, nothing was robbed by anybody.
Yeah, she'll speak up and say, well, the fact that they all had similar stories, I don't know if it was a mistaken identity or if they were trying to blame something on you to justify attacking you. Could be a shakedown from a gang. Gotta remember, in this region there are quite a few competing factions.
I don't know. I know for a fact that I haven't killed anyone.
Except that centaur.
Whether you believe me or not, that's all on you.
Deodori's gonna just offer her arm forward for like one of those full arm shakes, and she's going to say, at this point we're bonded by blood. Your honor's my honor.
And shakes. I shake her hand. Like as I said to the guards, we're siblings.
Well, you look like you on 50%, I guess. Anyway, as the night takes on, everybody it was a bit, or no, there was a conflict, but went back to enjoyment himself and so on. My question is, what do you do at the end of the evening, like 10 p.m. right now? You go to sleep, or do you do something else?
If we're playing by the D&D rules, only 6 hours of a long rest has to be spent sleeping. So Deodori's gonna just stay up for 2 hours, just kind of keeping a small patrol or watch over the room before she goes to sleep, and then she'll sleep for the night.
I actually go up to, before we even decide to go to sleep or whatnot, I go to Jay Dory. I'm like, wouldn't nighttime be the best to find out about Twisted Fingers?
She is going to nod and say, I would very much like to do some more investigating, but she's going to gesture at herself and say, but a dagger in the alleyway can take me out in seconds, and all of us together aren't exactly stealthy.
Well, if we only took 2 people, just me and you, my shield will protect you.
Don't tempt her like that. She's chaotic good. She's gonna.
Just a quick.
Okay.
Go on first. Go on.
Oh, I mean, like as you suggest that, she's gonna look around at everybody and like nod. She's still got 7 hours of mage armor left.
Nodding as they're having the conversation, I'm gonna come up behind them and say, "Well, I'm going out to find these twisted fingers, put a stop to the slavery."
Want some help?
God damn it!
It's a party.
Midnight raid.
Are we all okay? Do we need to recover at all, though?
Oh, Daydor's got full slots.
Yeah, I've still got everything.
Yeah, same.
So, adventure in the night of Razor Hill, right?
Yep.
Okay. Just quite a small detail. For later to think about. Remember, it's 2 chambers with 2 beds each. But no problem. The innkeeper will be there and so on. So during the night, you are going to try to enjoy yourself. As you reach outside of the inn,
Before we leave the inn,
Yes.
while we have the privacy of the room, Deodori is going to speak up and say, we can either head north of the town and see what we can find on the foothills out there, or we can search down the merchants' quarters. They're supposed to have eyes all over it. Perhaps it could be up to stuff in the evening.
I don't like being poked.
We don't know who's with the twisted fingers, so it could be even some orc guards that could be guarding that area. That could be with the twisted fingers. So we should be aware of them too. And
give me just a moment because you actually destroyed my plans. I didn't expect this site to derail this way. Give me just a moment.
They attack us in the night, and nobody's in our inn room while we're attacking their stronghold. And nobody's there. It's like, I guess they're not here, guys.
Okay, I'm ready. I know I need to know 2 details. Who here has dark vision?
Deodori does.
I have torches. Does that count?
nope.
Dark vision is dark vision, but no problem for torches and so on. I just need to know what is the range of the highest dark vision in the group.
Mine is 60.
Deodori is a 60 also.
Mine's 60 and a level.
A 60 and a level. What do you mean by that?
Next if I get dark vision, or I can get dark vision.
In
Okay,
one level, he gains access to it.
Okay. Those that have dark vision, because it's 60 feet away, which you can see better than Somoto with the torch, and Anyo, I guess too, will be do me a perception check.
Wait, who perception?
Those that have dark vision.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First good perception check of the night.
As you begin to move, Deodori, you see on the ground a bit of tissue, red tissue, It's not blood. It's just red. And as you look at the tissue, your memory comes back. The troll that was arguing with Gorum had a red tissue. Had a red tissue, but the tissue was intact. The tissue that you find right now on the ground, it's just right in the middle. It seems to be that someone took it and with his arm stretched it and destroyed it.
Okay. She'll pick it up and show it to everybody and say, I think this cloth belonged to those trolls who were harassing us earlier. Can she do a survival check and try and discern a distance? Oh, no, she is hanging out with the hunter. She's going to give it to the hunter. And she'll give the help action if he does a survival check.
Yes, survival check.
I look at him like, I don't really give a shit about those guys. They mean nothing to me. Unless they bother us again, let's not pay attention to them.
So am I rolling that with advantage because it's help?
Yes.
Yeah, Deodori will just speak up and say, well, the Twisted Fingers and the Twisted Fingers sell people into slavery, and the Burning Coven
Burning
Blade kidnap people. I think if anyone was attacked in the middle of town, it would warrant at least for us to be aware.
Somoto, you clearly see the footprints of the group. Do you want to follow?
I say that I found their footprints and point them out to the party because I realize that I can't see in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure, like, the people that can go.
Sure. As you begin to follow the trace of the footprints, it's after like 10 minutes of moving, you see finally it stops in front of a house. That house, the door is closed, and there is no fire or anything coming from, like there is no lightning coming from the windows.
I try to
And
circle.
the house is small, and it's quite like a circle. It's not a circle, but it's quite like a circle. It's roundish. It has like the architecture and so on.
I tell them I'm gonna circle around back.
I go up and bang on the door.
Okay, you bang on the door. Do me a perception check.
While I bang on the door, I also call out Razor Hill in my very Taurenly.
Okay, that's really nice. As the door opens, you see actually a quite frightened troll, the troll that you saw earlier. Like his eyes is really big. It looks like he is traumatized, to be fair. He opens the door with the mouth actually open, and as that happens, something on your view, like the eyes, like you can see really good. You can see really good where you're looking it, but you can still see
Peripheral
on the
vision.
side. Exactly that word there. With your peripheral vision, you see a figure, a black figure, coming out of the window and disappearing.
I was circling around the back.
Then Blistatio, you see actually. Well, that's another way, but basically you see actually the same thing. Like you see someone jumping from the window, and as it jumps, it it disappears as if it was smoke in the air.
I like the fuck. Oh.
As that happens, the troll looks at you, Samut, and says, "Oh my god, who are you?"
I'm just come. You were making quite a ruckus at the inn earlier this night. I've just come to make sure you were all right. I'm currently in the. I am. What's the military version of intern? I'm a conscript for the Razor Hill Guard.
Ah, I see. As it brings his left hand to the top to think, you see that 2 fingers are no more there. Trolls have three fingers, so basically he has 1 finger that you see, and it is quite recently.
Yeah, Deodori's gonna speak up and say, "That's a calling card of the Twisted Fingers."
That means he was marked for death.
As that happened, Deodori, you have dark vision.
She does.
From your view, because the door is quite open, you see his 3 friends dead on the ground.
Oh, is she gonna be rational or irrational? I think
That's up
she's
to you. Roll a d20 and determine your moods.
No, it's fine. The player in me wants to be super tactical, but like the RPer, she's just gonna like push past the troll, looking inside and say, "They're dead. What happened in here? Who was that person who just left?" As she steps inside the house, she's gonna go inspect the bodies.
It looks at his dead friends and... What happened?
Can I speak with you outside?
As you said that, he runs to his friends and yells, "Gram! Gin! Binging! We're all dead!" And begins to cry as he begins to cry, he puts himself on the knees and yeah.
As he yelled out Grom, I'm like, wait, I'm alive.
No, not Gorom.
You said Grom.
Yeah, but it's someone else. Imagine
Okay.
Deodori wants to inspect the wounds on the bodies and try and see what killed them.
Sure. Do a medical check.
Okay. Do you want me? Okay, yeah.
One thing that I do that is quite easy for you to understand is that they lack 2 fingers too.
Okay.
And as you try to investigate, as you look at the mouth, the eyes, the ears, the general torso, you don't find any cuts, anything like that. You don't know what killed them because it's not bleeding from their fingers that, well, unless it's enough blood that could kill someone. So you don't see.
Sure
You don't.
they're dead?
Yes, they are dead.
Don't touch the scene. At
So
all.
I know what you mean by not touching, but we are not in the 21st century. We are like in medieval, so there is no way to do fingerprints. Sadly,
No, I'm aware of that. I'm saying, let the guards deal with this.
Can she cast detect magic? I had to see if she was able to. I am 3rd level now, though.
sure, try.
All right. She's
Try, but with one thing that I
Okay.
did I refer
That's fine.
with the group or not? To do an arcane check when you are trying to do some of those magic spells, like identify and so on.
Can you say that to me one more time?
Did I tell this group that I do like in detect magic in identify another like tongue spells where you need to roll an Arcana check to make it more challenging than rather than make it simply magic and voila. It's not a lot of spells, but like there are 5 spells where I applied those rules.
Okay. You did not tell me that, but that is fine. I accidentally clicked detect thoughts, but I've updated. I got detect magic.
No problem, no
But
problem.
yeah, Theodore is
do a
trained
not-
in magic.
Do an Arcana check.
All right. She's gonna look at Anyo and ask her and say, "Can you guide me through this?" Before she makes the chat.
Sure. I'll walk over and put my hand on her and cast guidance.
All right. It's gonna be a 17.
Sure.
I always forget I have that.
It's quite useful, believe me.
The best cantrip in the game.
As you do that, you don't detect any magic on them, which even perplexes you. Like, with your medicine skills and with your magical skills, you don't understand how they died exactly. It's quite a mystery. But you do sense that the guy that disappears in dust, that there is small imprints of him on the ground,
Okay.
like magical imprints. Imagine like each time that he touched something, that there was a magical touch on it, but you don't sense that touch on the
bodies.
on the bodies exactly.
Okay.
Finally,
Okay.
I just need to think about what is the magic. I will talk for now. I will check the specific magic that is categorized.
Okay, and yeah, her next focus would be on the troll that is still alive. And-
With detect magic, you do sense that there is magic in his brain.
okay.
You clearly identify that magic as being enchantment.
Okay.
Um,
And she'll use her
But-
action too for the magic on the footprints.
do that say the name of the spell that you no? You
No, it's just
learn
the school.
The magic school exactly.
Yeah.
Go find the right scroll now.
Mm-hmm. While you're looking up that school, Deodori will talk to the party and say, the troll is under some sort of charm. He's affected by enchantment magic. Whatever killed these bodies, it either left no trace or it's immune to divination magic.
I mean, at least they're not bugging me now, but only apparently killing their dad.
I could not understand that.
At least they're not going to bug me about them me killing their dad again. Sounds just stupid.
I go up to the troll and put my hand on the shoulder and I say, I know it's hard, but I need you to answer some questions about your friends and about what you're about, blah blah blah, about what you remember.
Sure. What is there to tell?
When did you those wounds on your hands and on your friend's hands? They look rather fresh. Do you remember when you got them?
It looks at his hands. Ah, when did that happen?
I will
She's
take
going
that
to
as
look
a
at Samato and say, magic's blocking his memory right now.
I know, but we still need to know as much as we can, as soon as we can. What is the last thing you remember, Troll?
I remember I went to bed. I went to sleep. I had a good night with my friend actually. We drank and so on. We were in good humor. We just went from an adventure fighting some harpies, and I went to sleep. and I don't remember after.
You remember encountering me?
There is a memory of you that you killed my parents.
God fucking damn.
But I've never seen you, but my brain, it hurts.
Probably best if you get some rest. You did lose a lot of blood.
We should take him to somewhere.
Where do you want to take him?
To the graveyard. What?
To graveyard? What?
So
Um,
much for not murdering people.
Deodori is going to say, leave him be. I think we should track the assassin that was here.
He disappeared into smoke.
And she's going to point to the auras that she sees and says,
Mhm.
I can see the footsteps of his magic left behind.
Two things about that. After a lot of about hearing talk and so on, you do sense that those magical auras presence that they put on the ground while moving are slowly disappearing. But beyond the window, there is a handprint as he puts himself up to jump. But after the window, it's as if there is no magic anymore. There is nothing, which you really don't understand how that's possible.
Is there any guards nearby that we can alert?
Sure. On that street, there is not too many guards, but looking just one more minute, and you find 2 guards patrolling.
I go up to them and I say sadly the twisted fingers have struck again.
As they ask to where and so on, you accompany them to Dome.
Me and my party members are going to track down the killer. To the best of our ability, and we will report what we find, if that's okay with you guys.
Well, that sounds like a lovely suggestion, but I can't sadly do that. We really need to take you into custody and interrogate you what happened. It's not. You might have your heart may be in the most honorable place, but we still need to send you right now to custody and
They're
interrogate you.
using magic. The chances of you guys being able to track them is very slim.
Well,
The time is now. We need to go either right now or not at all.
sorry about that, but it's primary that we send you to custody.
We are staying at the inn.
If they are doing magic, we will ask our local mage to go to check it.
I have a feeling that they're
Deodori is going to speak up and
Yeah.
say, this guard is impeding our investigation of them. Perhaps we should tell Gartuk that we might have found the traitor amongst the ranks.
I understand what you are trying to do, but I'm just doing my duty.
From one guard to another, I ask you that: would you really let innocent people die in the face of procedure? Because I know I wouldn't. Helping people is the main reason I even started my training to become a brave. So if you're going to take us in, will you be responsible for the people that might die because of the twisted fingers?
I'm not here to argue anymore. Look, we are here to. It's our local power to go to ask about you what happened, because you right now, even though you might say that you are innocent, you are suspicious to us.
we may be suspicious. But we're going to investigate this.
Yeah, that's
We will
what
talk to you.
that's what any criminal would have said. I'm innocent in court. Of course, like I said, comply or suffer some consequence.
Let's just comply their right to be suspicious. It's a weird situation.
This is why you should never trust anything other than.
Not everyone's an enemy.
They are if you believe hard enough.
Exactly. But anyway, you don't get handcuffs, nothing like that. But do everybody agree voluntarily to go to custody to the barracks?
Yes.
Do we have some sort of scroll saying that we're on a quest to find out about the Twisted Fingers?
No, sadly no.
Everything's verbal.
Yeah, everything is verbal basically. Basically, what I said at the beginning with Farash, it's with him that you should usually talk. As you.
Can Deodori
you-
insight the guard's motives?
Sure, do an insight check.
Nah. She's heated. She's a fire mage, it's proper.
Well,
It's just she's being a guard.
Mhm.
you don't get any sense if it's good or bad. You just get the sense that it's grunts doing grunt stuff. You arrived at the barracks after even though it's really late, and after like 1 hour and a half of waiting, you see an orc in pyjama approaching you. Just to describe, you're not even in a cell. You are actually in a hall where there are some guards observing you, but that's about it. There is an orc with an eye patch and with a scar behind the eye patch approaching you. He's quite old and tells you, "Oh, in what trouble have you put yourself?"
Just some basic investigation that gone wrong.
Deodori's gonna speak up and say, we were on the heels of the Twisted Finger, and then your grunt brought us here, and the killer's likely getting away.
I understand that it's a messy situation. They just did their duty because I do recognize. Well, we spoke this afternoon, and for me, it's okay. You will not be charged or anything like that. I don't think you are suspicious. But look, it's quite in the evening. Go talk with Gartok, the commander of the guards of Razor Hill. It might tell you more because he is the one that is investigating more about the Twisted Fingers.
Deodori's gonna put, like, her fingers to her, like, the bridge of her nose and nod.
And I know this is annoying, but while the Twisted Finger are for sure a problem in this city, if you could deal with other stuff like the burning blade or the humans, I would really be grateful. Well, it's really tired, and I have more duty to do as the lead of the Razor Hill, so I'm going to bed. And you are free to do whatever you want.
Deodori is going to say, can we get that in writing for the next time one of your grunts tries to bring us here?
Sure. I will send Orgnil, my assistant, to Gartok to deliver a paper, and you will be able to have an official decree that nothing happened to you in case you are investigating.
She's gonna nod and then just like look towards the guard that brought us here, and she's gonna like point 2 fingers to her eyes and then point, 1 finger at him.
It looks at you and says, "Look, I'm just doing my duty. I understand you are pissed, and I'm surprised that nothing happened to you, but I'm just doing my duty."
I say, I understand, and I get it. But next time, think more compassionately.
She's gonna hiss and say, "Duty's the death of honor." Just like walk out.
I'm gonna death glare you then, because that's you're getting horribly death glared from.
My question now is, for the rest of the night, do you go to the inn or do you go to the?
I think our investigation's over at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guards obviously went to the house and did the investigation there themselves. As you go to inn and go to sleep, okay. As you go to sleep, you wake up on. Well, who sleeps with who? To be fair, is it like the ladies on the ladies' room and the guys on the guys' room, or what is it?
To me, it didn't matter.
Orcs and Tauren. I don't know.
Torn and half elf, or half orc elf.
No problem. Deodori, you are the first to wake up, and you are really tired. But you see 2 things. You see a card, a letter rather, over your knees. As you watch it, it's quite surprising. You take it, and it's written on the front part of the letter, a surprise. And you see that the letter has in it 2 small things. As you look to your right, Gorum is asleep, but you see the troll that you saw yesterday that was traumatized head over his torso.
Okay. And you said there was a second thing?
That was the second thing they had.
Oh, okay. Ugh. Deodori is going to just jump out of bed and kick it onto the floor. And she is going to just wake Gorum and say, "Gorum, they were here last night."
Who were?
She points towards the head.
Whatever. We'll deal with it in the morning.
It is the morning, right?
Yes, it's
Like
the
a
morning.
true orc.
Yeah.
No, let me sleep longer.
Deodori is going to inspect the letter and say, "Oh, they did, however, leave some evidence for the first time."
I'm writing to you in private something, unless
Okay.
you want to share the stuff. But continue to speak, guys. There is no problem on that side.
I still try to roll over and like just. I'm awake, but I'm just like pretending I'm asleep.
I'm still sleeping.
Yeah, I'm a heavy sleeper.
Deodori would want to know if there's. I linked her researcher feat. She'd want to know if there's any place in town she could go and learn more magical stuff. She'd specifically be looking for a more powerful mage who can scry.
I see, I see. There's... Well, that's not a problem. I do want to know, before you continue on that side, is the others are waking up slowly. Do you do anything?
Oh,
in
yeah,
particular?
I guess, she would go check on Samato and Anyo.
Sure.
I wake up at like a very select time, so it has to be like it's like effectively 10 o'clock, like our time. That's when I wake up, and that's like all the time.
Yeah, she wouldn't be trying
I mean,
to wake you guys up. She'd just check in your room to make sure you're okay. But yeah, she goes in Anyo's and Samato's room, and she's not stealthy about it at all. If she wakes them up, opening the door and walking in.
As I noticed you leaving, I'm like, But I decided to get up and follow you. What are you doing now?
And she's gonna say, well, if they broke into our room last night, that probably means they had access to our other two. And she's gonna say, if they tried to attack us and accidentally woke you up, you'd be a heck of a fight, but fighting them in their sleep, who knows? She shrugs.
If only that one guy didn't get away. I still hit the guards for it.
She's gonna nod and say, sometimes there comes a point when you have to disregard duty and use honor, logic, love, compassion, any other part of your brain.
Do you think I was wrong for getting the guards involved?
She's going to shake her head and say, no, we had very small reasons to distrust that they might impede us. But that guard who insisted on dragging us away from an organization that is so incredibly difficult to find when we were so close to them. If I was the war chief, I wouldn't have his head, but he'd be doing peon labor for the next year and a half.
Nothing we can do about now.
She's gonna nod and start knock. If the Tarans aren't answering their door, she's opening and walking in.
Well, you open the doors and you find the two Torrents well alive and well asleep.
Why do they have such a fucking hatred for meat? It's not fair. I need to get some alcohol on me first.
Well, the Deodori goes waking up Samuto, and Anyo, you are finally all awake. If you want to take breakfast, give 1 gold to the Lolve innkeeper, and that's about that. What are your plans in the morning?
Deodori will explain to the party whatever conjuration or illusion magic they used last night to escape. It's more powerful than what I'm capable of, coupled with the enchantment magic that they did on the troll that survived. Whoever the Twisted Fingers are in town, I think if we have another lead, if we can find out whatever areas of concentrated magic users are in this town, we can either learn the magics we need to combat them, or we might find the ones helping them out.
I think leaving that last one alive was just them saying us a mess.
I believe we caught them in the act.
Yeah. It was Gorham who said leaving the last one alive. Theodore will respond and say, the last one alive, his head was on your blanket this morning. And then she'll tell
Oh, that was sound.
yeah, she'll tell that to Samato and Anyo. They killed the last troll and threw his head in our room.
Have you reported it?
She's going to roll her eyes and say, I think the guards are completely incompetent when it comes to this.
I actually need to ask you for something very specific, Kennedy. Do a wisdom check.
Wisdom check.
Just really quick, you're insulting guards while talking to a want-to-be guard. Just so you're aware.
Kennedy, it becomes even more interesting for you. As you were talking, you got actually the memory that face, that the troll that you saw on Gorm's blanket, it's not the troll from yesterday. It's a troll merchant without his fancy head and nothing like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, and she'll share that and say, I was mistaken. That troll was somebody else that I talked to yesterday.
Probably should check up on the one that, yes.
Either my company is becoming more confusing or more interesting.
Isn't it both?
Sorry, there is a place what?
Isn't it always both?
Yeah, I mean, the Dungeon Master shenanigans, I guess.
Well, I think Deodori, like, on Samato's comment, you know, of her getting mad, like, about her insult to the guards, she will say, well, if you want to be a guard, I trust you're more competent in this field. What would you do from here?
Shouldn't have to actually think.
And if you choose the wrong answer, you'd be punished by the guard, by the head war chief.
Yeah, Deodori's gonna look at Gorham and shake her head.
Oh, I say methodically. First, I would report it to someone higher than me. Then, I would go back to the first area, trying to see if there's any clues left over from when we were first attained. If not, I'd go see if the troll was alright and or dead, depending on how the twisted fingers operate. If he's still alive, I'd rather get more information from him. And going from there, I'd either go, like you said, go find someone more capable of magic than us to identify any magic we've found, or try and help us find magic to identify. And then proceed from there.
She's going to nod and say, and what if the higher up is, what if the higher up is the one, is the traitor amongst the ranks?
Then we'll deal with that when it comes to that.
She nods. She's gonna say, so should we report this to Farash?
I nod.
Just a quick detail. Where Farage is working, is still a bit of movement. You can, if you want, if you intend to do that, you can still go to the barracks, where Gartok will be able to be there in the morning. Meaning, the thing that first said to check with Gartok.
Yeah, Deodori's good with any option. Because Gartok's
say
the
with-
leader of the guards, and Farash is like the leader of the town, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not only of the guards, but you can even put him as like a general that is making the coordination for attacks against the killboars, the centaurs, the humans, and the burning blade, and so on. He's like the one that puts peace on Durotar.
Okay. Yeah, she'd be fine with going to Gartok.
The rest, do you follow?
Yes, I say
Yeah.
we go to the highest official we can.
As you arrive at the barracks, and as you enter in it, obviously, you see a lot of people talking, not talking, training, and clearly by the plates that he's wearing, in full plate armor, and with those beautiful, battle axe, you clearly distinguish Gartok from the rest.
Before we get to him, can Deodori be whispering to the party?
Sure.
She is going to like lean over to Anyo and say, "Anyo, do you trust me?"
Yes.
She is going to say, Gartok organizes all the plans and attacks for Razor Hill. Ask him who he sends his orders through. If you can find a way to bring up the name Torka or Ofik, I would like to see his response to either of those names if he knows those people. And that's all she's gonna say.
Okay. I have already forgotten those names.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I
you
will
can
type
write it
it
down.
for you.
As you approach Fartok, it looks at you and makes a big smile, looking at you. So you are the adventure from yesterday, right?
One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about. I saw the report this morning about what you discovered yesterday. I'm sorry about the display. I try to do my best that the least people, mainly those that visit Razor Hill, they don't have a display of that cruelty.
I'm
But-
just more upset that the guards interfered with our investigation.
I have the solution to that. I have already received the Forash order from Orgnil. Look, here is the order.
But
That
who
you
said
can.
we'll have another chance?
Well, you need to understand that papers are a bit important too. They had to do that duty, sadly, even if that was a golden opportunity for sure. But now there is no more anything that impedes you on your tasks. I'm Gartok, commander of the Guard of Razor Hill and the regional general, let's say. I make sure that the province is in security, the roads can be traveled safe, and deal with any menace in Durotar. How may I help?
We've come to report a crime, I guess, for lack of a better word. We've found a merchant's head on our friend's lap, I say as I motion my hand to gum. from?
Let me guess. And somehow nearby two fingers.
Deodori's gonna nod.
The twisted fingers once again. They are a mess to deal with.
It seems like they have a hatred for me though, because it's on my lap directly.
I suspect something else, but that is just an hypothesis right now. They might have heard about you trying to deal with them, and they attack. If I do have some grunts that are working on to deal with them in secrecy, because if their names would be revealed, they would have died already. You have not died, which is a surprise to me. Maybe you are more resourceful than I'm expecting.
We shot many people.
Well, Twitter stringers or not, I can give you a lot of great information. For example, if you want not to deal with right now with the twisted fingers, actually can tell you of a lair where the killboars are staying, where a small place where humans are being staying, and I believe if we attack that place, but I don't have the men sadly, we could get more information about the Tirasgard Keep. And finally, there are some reports, but we don't know the location of the north east of here that the Burning Blades operates of. But we don't know if you could take someone and try to interrogate them and then execute each one that you find on their goddamn cave. We would be glad.
Where are these cruel located?
On the south of here, on somewhere a day, I believe. Let me see the map. On the south of here, a day to the from the road and to the left, and you reach that lair. I can point you to the map. It's quite easy to find it, and it draws a small cross where it is. The killbirds are not that much of a nuisance. It's more that we don't know what they are doing, and of course, killing them is always good for the security of Durotar. And if you feel like you are, if you struggle with fighting, I believe you can train yourself with some killbirds. They are great practice for a man here.
I know what you say. Most Cobra, they are rather weak.
Well, if they are organized, which they are, it can be really a pain. But the individual one, you can easily beat them without any difficulty. If there is any question.
No.
So, I was wondering, as you might have been able to tell, myself, I'm learning to, training to become brave in my town, and then eventually maybe a position of your stature. I'd like to ask you a few questions about how you operate such a huge town.
Very simple. We have 50 people that are on during the day guarding the city. We have another 20 during the night. After that, we do lack a lot of people, and right now, as you can see, we are recruiting more 20 people to protect the city. But outside of that, we have three main groups that are dealing with issues in Durotar. There is one camping near Tier's guards. Their duty is to kill one by one and try to find any operations by the humans. We have one near the barons that is securing the border, and the real problem there is more the crocolisk's that come out of the river and attack farmers and so on. So they scout a bit the whole border of the barons. And finally, the last one, which is the Wolf Riders squad. It's not only one squad, but it's many squads of Wolf Riders. They are their task is to adventure and try to deal with search and destroy, basically.
I nod and I say, I've also heard of multiple people um, that are involved with this town. Do you happen to know someone by the name of Talker? He's been brought up in many conversations I've had with other guards involving how this town is run.
Torka, of course I know about Torka. He is the local regional chef.
Ah, he's the good chef. He's that excellent chef who runs.
Yes,
Yeah, cooking
the
place.
regional mastery dish. Yes, it's quite a delicious place. I like to go there a lot of days. But why that question? That question sounds quite odd.
It's just this. I've heard that name being brought up by many of the grunts as I've been investigating things happening around here.
They are smart ones. I mean, nothing better than a good dish of kudo meat at Torka. They must be hungry. I mean, I understand that uh, we don't have the best meals here in the military, but yes, I can understand why they are talking about Torka.
I'm
I will even
assuming
say this: if you have never eaten at Torka, if you do the duties that I ask, you can I can pay you a meal at Torka. You will say that it will be the taste in your mouth is beyond the gold that you have in your pocket.
I nod and say, "I'll keep that in mind next time I return to you.
Mhm.
I will take you up on that."
And you asked oh, the second person what was the name? It was Torka and
Orphic. Or
Ofek.
fear. Or fear.
Hmm. Ofek, well, is the one that furnished us the weapons. Um, Talking of weapons, I have another task to ask because it might be related to the Twisted Fingers, but that's an initiation apart. If you find the burning blades, can you kill them and take all their weapons? I want to investigate if those weapons may be made by OPEC.
I nod.
Well, it's quite a remarkable journey. Before you go, I did receive a specific order from Forash, a gift. As you got a bit of a curl yesterday, not with the guards, but what happened yesterday. He asked me to give you some good equipment so that you can deal with whatever happens in front of you. And with that, he goes to a chest and takes some armor of it, and finally check your private message, everybody.
New shit. Woo!
The one way don't get private messages.
Not yet, because you are the last, sadly. Wait a
Uh,
second.
I thought you like pre-messaged everyone like Guys,
no,
now
no, I'm not that quick. Like I need to copy each thing. So that's that. So it gives you a fine piece of armor. Well, that should protect you a bit. It's quite a high quality equipment. Do your duty well, and more rewards shall come at you.
That is some good ass armor.
Um,
I nod in appreciation and say, "Thank you. These will help me perform my duties well."
My mic has been muted. I'm sorry. Can Deodori
Yeah.
speak up and, like,
Sure.
as she's receiving this armor, she's going to say, on Afik, the the twisted fingers have been lurking around the merchant's quarters. If you suspect him of selling his weapons or good to the Burning Blade, I'm sure it wasn't him and he has no association. Perhaps some of his goods have been robbed from him without him knowing and gone to them.
well, for sure,
Yeah.
he sells to different people, and maybe he has sold it to the merchant that collaborates with the
Can
Burning Blade. Or
she make a persuasion or deception check? Because she is trying very hard to clear his name, even though, she has evidence that he's... Yeah.
sure, go for OPEC.
Alright.
Forgo deception, not OPEC. Yes, I can understand that. I mean, maybe it's just that a merchant that collaborates with the Burning Blade or the Twisted Fingers buy the weapons from him or something like that. But I don't know exactly those details. Like, if you find those weapons, we will be grateful.
She's gonna nod.
Quick question for two players, that is Samoto and Anyo. Do you get what I mean by the spell power?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And
Don't
with
think I need
that,
to- Yes.
well, I need still to train my mans here. Any last questions?
you know.
Okay, then perfect. I shake your hands firmly and with pride. Well, take care, and may the hearts be in your heart.
Alright.
As you begin to leave the barracks, an orc in in some simple clothes, but still with some symbols on over his torso, and that symbol, like a symbol of the horde and a symbol of a small axe, approaches you. Hello, I am Orgnil. I am the advisor of Forash. I heard that you are trying to find some people.
Deodori is gonna nod, and she'll put a hand on his shoulder and say, and she'll say, yes, those who help us live, and therefore we help others.
Ah, that's very good that I hear that. Well, I'm Ognil, Solskar. I am the advisor of Forash, like I said. I don't want to be conspiracies. I don't want to make some conspiracies. But what do you think about Forash?
Deodori will say, I'm sure he's an upstanding citizen and leader of Razor Hill. Talked with him on several accounts, and he's...
He raises an eyebrow to you and asks, I don't think you are telling the truth.
Did he be... I rolled a deception check with that. I rolled a 21 on that.
I know, and I answered to you. I don't know you are telling the truth.
We are in no place to answer that question. We have not been in this town long enough.
Well, I know this is quite a situation, but if you could prove something with someone about the burning blade or the twisted fingers with some people that I suspect with some other people to be high rank, then if you could inform me, please, I could try to make it so that we could get rid of those people.
I nod and say, in what way do you want them to be connected, and who are you talking about?
I cannot say any names because because those twisted fingers have ears a bit everywhere in the city. I don't think, because I have heard about you. I believe, but I may be mistaken, that the reason that the twisted fingers attacked you was that you were talking about the twisted fingers. It's like right now, I need to be careful when I'm talking about that, because it's a subject that can kill you if they hear you.
You still have not answered my question. How do you want them to be proven that they are part of Burning Blade, or the...
It's not how I want to find a proof. It's more that if you find a proof, you could give it to me, and I'm trying to build a case against some people in power in Razor Hill.
Can Deodori insight this?
Yes, try.
Oh my gosh, that's the second 6 I've rolled on the insight check. She trusts no one.
Do we know what our actual magic items do, or do we just know we have that item?
You know what it do.
Okay.
So Deodori, it tells you, and you got the feeling that he's telling the truth. Look, there are some people that I cannot say the names, like I said, because it's really a situation of death and survival. I'm sorry if that's not possible to inform you more, but I suspect some people to be corrupt, and if that corruption is true, Razor Hill struggle is even bigger than expected. And if there is anything else, I will need to go, because Farash needs my duty to continue my duties.
Noise.
Well, it leaves and it gives. Take care and do your investigation very well.
I don't think anyone knows how to proceed.
Deodori, like after he leaves, we're walking outside? I'm assuming.
Yeah, you are outside, but right now, as it's in the morning, there's not too many people, as many people are still waking up and working and so on. So.
Alright, yeah, Deodori will just like start whispering to the party. She'll pull out the letter and say, I trust all of you unconditionally, but I don't trust anyone else here. and she'll the letter that she got this morning from the Twisted Finger, and she doesn't say anything to anyone, but she'll just like hold it real close to her chest and just kind of show it over. And like as everybody gets a look at it, it says, "Those that seek us die. Those who help us live. Don't deal with us, survive. Hinder us, death. Long live Ofik, Forash, and Torka." Is the like last line of the letter. She's gonna say, "I think if we help them, we have the opportunity to get closer inside of their circle," which is why I tried to clear that tried to clear that blacksmith's name. She points at him and says, "If he is making a case against them, they might attack him. Otherwise, he might have been trying to see if I'd give over this information." She's going to tuck away the letter and say, "I think in any case, we should at least leave the city for a day and see what happens."
Let's go kill Kodo.
I agree. All this deceit is really starting to get to me. Nobody should lie this much about such little things.
Deodori is gonna have a devious smile and say, "I thrive on it. No one's ever trusted me before." This is where she lives. Distrust and misconceptions.
Just a straight-laced soldier.
Quick question. So you are going to the Kudo or to the Quilbers, or you are going to try your luck with the Burning Blades?
I vote Coda and then Quill Wars.
Yeah. Actually,
The Burning Blade can control the world.
wait, let me listen. What was up here?
That was the Burning Blade.
Up here there was the Burning Blade.
I think it'll be best for us to do the Kodo here, Brain Blade up here.
Sure.
But the Quill War are down here.
Oh, who made that little X?
It's me. It was Gartok that said that the Quilbers are in that location.
Oh, okay. We should make a little X everywhere, like saying, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, voila, done.
No.
That's a bit one too much. So yeah, votes again. Kudo, it seems to be first. After that, well, I think it's Kudo because nobody is answering.
Yeah.
Let me just check one thing. I just need to ask for a minute, as I need to open some stuff.
Yeah, I want to do a little RP then. Guys, what do you get from the blacksmith or whoever gave us the awesome armor? I got this nice chainmail. It's a little red, but the smell of blood you'll get used to it.
I'm just casually wearing a crocodile now.
A crocodile?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Deodori's got a beautiful green robe on over her common clothes.
I literally just swapped chainmail armor. That's all I did. But this chainmail armor is now reddish.
Anyway, back to our potatoes. You travel towards the Kudo, and what seems to be quite odd for you, Somoto, is that you recognize that he has not left his place. He's still in the same place where you saw initially on that hill.
Can we tell that it's actually alive?
No, it seems to be quite legit. It just didn't change its place. Like I said, you reached there without any problem. A is there asleep, and I want everybody to roll initiative, and then you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to equip armor.
Um, real quick.
My initiative is not loading.
I didn't have my token selected on my first roll.
No worries. It's already corrected.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm about to.
My initiative.
I'm about to roll mine. Give me a second. Where is my character? Oh, I see her.
Just a quick detail for you, Gorm. You cannot run this. This is a bit high, so you can go from here and so on. But small detail. The kudo is quite big, so it will not be able to have a problem to climb this down. Okay, we can finally put it in the sense. Samuto, you see a sleepy kudo there. What you do?
Real quick. My initiative should be it's 16, but it's actually 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for some reason.
yeah. No problem. It's done.
Now I can remember what the range of my spells are.
Well, it's your turn. You do whatever you want, cowboy.
Jesus Christ, initiative 25?
I cast that on the Kodo.
Okay, yeah. As a bonus
I'm
action,
on-
right?
Yeah, as bonus action. I'm on 22 agility right now as my actual as the actual stat. So
That's
25.
normal.
is it though?
Yeah, like you will be able to reach above your normal. It's not limited at 20. At 20, your ability scores and so on.
Only the base is. I'm also going to move up to there and shoot my bow.
Okay.
Oh, my
Deodori.
computer is so laggy.
Sorry. Did you finish your turn or not?
Yes, I did. I didn't put the bow down. I didn't make it okay.
Well, it's your turn, Deodori.
Deodori is going to target it with a Scorching Ray and make 3 spell attacks at it.
Samoto, the crossbow touched, and Deodori the last scorer ray touched. Roll me 1d2 because
Alright.
Samuto is there. Okay, you didn't touch Samuto. That's good.
Okay. She sets the she deals 8 points of fire damage and sets the Kodo ablaze.
Okay, I see. Okay, no problem. Gorum.
I will move to Rapist, and then I'm going to need him to make a wisdom saving throw of a 14 or greater,
A wisdom saving throw. Okay.
because I'm gonna taunt him.
You didn't succeed it.
Okay. As a bonus action, and then as an action, I will Can I ready an action? Or since I use a bonus action, I can't do that. Yeah, I'll ready an action. If he gets close enough, I'll smack him.
Sure. Okay. Enemies. Wait, actually, I need to ask something quite specifically. It was a sleep. It was surprise. So, Somoto, you don't need to roll because you already touched him. You can try to roll to see if you get a 20 normal.
I didn't, so it's fine.
Daedori, if you want for the two first scorching ray, you can try to hit with because of the surprise mechanics.
All right. That's re-rolling for the first and re-rolling for the second.
You didn't touch.
Okay. Can I re-roll for the third just to see if I get a crit?
Sure.
All right.
And roll.
Yeah. Instead of 8 damage, it would be 19 damage.
15.
And she still sets it on fire too.
Yes. That was quite natural. As it wakes from his situation, it runs here and no. First, it goes here. As it goes here, Gorm, you can do the attack.
Okay. And that's a reaction, so I can't fucking do a shield stuff. That sucks. There it is. Nope, wrong one. Sorry.
The longsword touch. The crossbow is a bit.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to.
The damage. It's 7. Okay. As it reaches to you, it will do 2 things. It will try to swallow you. Do yes. Do what is the thing? I'm not sure. Wait, that's not possible. It's not automatic.
A lot of monsters, they'll have to hit with an attack, and then their next round, if they have like a creature grappled by their attack, like in their mouth, like a bite, then they have the option to.
Okay, I see what it is.
Swallow.
It's basically the bite first that they need to do, exactly as you were saying. So it's going to attack you with a lovely bite. 20 plus
Goron.
miss. Okay, and one with his tail. It's 21.
Hits. Barely.
Barely. Do a strength check saving throw.
Ooh, I am good at that. $11.
11, you failed. You took 11 damage. You are prone, knocked on the ground. Anu, your turn.
Did you get the 5 fire damage from Deodori's burning condition?
No, 5 damage.
Yes, if it failed,
That's
it's...
the average.
Say it again?
That's the average, right?
The
5 damage.
Yeah, the 5 damage is at the start of its turn if it failed the stamina saving
Yes.
throw against her burning condition.
What is your saving throw?
Now it is a DC 15, I believe. I will double check for you. DC 16.
Okay, it failed barely. Anu, your turn.
I'm going to cast Shadow Bolt on.
Sure. You touched. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice damage. Is it all?
Yeah, that's all.
Samoto.
I use my racial ability of War Stomp and cast Tremor. Keep
What?
forgetting that everything's on a button.
You may use an instant because
Warrior's War Stomp.
on Alvaton those will fail to save. Okay. It didn't fail the dexterity saving throw.
And that's my action. I'm going to make a movement up to. Why is my screen moving when I token?
It says Tremor's bonus action.
Where do you want to go? I can move you.
Up one place because I can't hold my screen steady apparently.
No problem, no problem. You do receive you do receive there on the top. Okay, you don't receive any attack of opportunity.
My screen's moving. My screen's bugging out whenever I pick up my pace.
No problem, no problem. Deodori, go for it, cowboy.
All right. How's the Kodo look? Is it like bloodied at all or anything?
It looks quite well for its state.
Okay, she is going to move there, so she's not firing through allies. And you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. She's gonna go with 3 more scorching. Yeah, she's gonna go with 3 more scorching rays at this thing.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
You touched all the 3.
Damage for 1, 2, and 3. That is a total of 14.
Of 20.
22?
Not 20. Is it not 23?
Oh, yeah, it might be. You're.
No, you are correct.
Okay,
it's
22. Okay, yeah.
Okay, it seems like it's no more in a stable situation. Gorom, your turn.
I will taunt it again, make sure it's a wisdom saving throw. As a bonus action.
Okay.
Has to beat a 14.
It beats you, sadly.
Again, so I just making.
I will
trying to
be
make it
fair.
attack.
I will be fair. I think it's 8 to 10 that when you do a saving throw against enemies, they always succeeded, and it's not to be. I don't know, some shenanigans dice there.
Well, anyways, that was my bonus action, so it doesn't matter.
Go for it.
As an action, I'm going to swing my.
And you touched.
Okay. I do. It's not. You don't add the +4 because it's not a crit.
Okay, yeah. So let's. It's just 8.
Yeah, just 8 damage.
Okay. Is clearly not in a good state. What he will do. It takes a deep breath within him, and use a weaker chain lightning on you all.
Okay.
Goodbye, Deodori.
No, not again. Like I said, a weak one. I just need to calculate some stuff. Okay. Whew. Okay. On it will use the breath on you. On you, Gorm, but I just need to make sure that the lightning is being 3 other targets. Okay. Can this? Can you remove someone? Can you remove the thing because I cannot read it? Yeah, it's most likely the case. It touch. So basically, to make it visible, one lightning goes here, another lightning goes here, and another lightning goes here, which means that you three will do a dex saving throw.
Dexterity 7 3, you say? Well, I can do that.
Okay.
19
Okay.
for Deodori.
Okay. Everybody succeeded. You take half of that damage, which means 14 damage.
And Deodori
Not the
is
weaker
bloody.
one?
Gorm, you barely got 39 damage, but you got half of it. Anyo, your turn.
Is anyone
I'm-
about to die?
I'm not hurt.
Well, the Kodo seems to be quite about to die.
I'm at the hurt health state.
Yeah, Deodori's
Alright, you're all
hurt too.
fine. I'm just gonna cast Firebolt on it.
Such a great healer.
Y'all will be fine.
That sounds like a perfect spell to kill two players too, I think.
It's fine.
See, I
When-
would do block and tackle, but it says a weapon attack, and breath is not considered a weapon attack, right?
Breath attack. The lightning that they did was like, I don't know, yeah, breath attack I would say.
Yeah, it's not considered a weapon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Consider
Okay.
Yeah. Do the damage, Anyo. Perfect. The exact number to kill it.
That was the minimum damage.
Yeah, but that was the damage that was necessary.
Well, it did take 2 fire damage too on its turn. I rolled the d6 up
Or-
there.
Oh no, sorry, that was 9 damage. It was plus 8 to hit. My
Yeah.
bad.
I even forgot to add the damage from Deodori, but even so, it was really of old age and he was about to die.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
that was the Kudo story.
See, you guys didn't need healing.
So, as Deodori's holding in her intestines and kidneys and everything from falling out.
You still have the potion!
Not drinking that here. It'd take a short rest before.
Off to the Quibbles.
We're gonna
Before-
end this campaign and Deodori will still have that potion.
Mhm.
You do sense the earth slightly trembling.
I second wind and gain some health.
Sure.
Why is it trembling?
I need to repeat one thing that I said. Sadly, Deodori, it's not an ability. You cannot do yet a short rest.
Okay.
As you killed the Kodo, you sense the earth trembling.
She'll drink the potion.
Those that have above 14 perception.
Ooh,
I do.
where is that again?
It's up by your initiative and your armor class.
Oh, I'm at 13.
16.
Well, and you can roll too.
What are you rolling?
Perception. Samuto, your hunter's instinct clearly identifies the earth trembling as being others Kodos coming in your direction. You don't see them yet on the plains, but they are coming in your direction.
I just yell at everyone to get together because I have no idea what the fuck's happening.
We shouldn't be here anymore.
Yeah. Let's. I mean,
we
go ahead.
we should preferably leave before the rest of his kind show up.
Don't we need the meat?
No, we were just told to let them know where the location was.
Just to kill this one and then tell him where his corpse was.
Right. Yeah, let's hustle.
Let's GTFO.
Let's take the TGV. As you begin to, well,
Wait,
I
can I
imagine-
quickly take a chunk of the Kodo? Just like with.
in what way do you are you thinking to do that?
Just a proof that we killed it, type thing.
Sure. Do me a strength check.
Ooh, just a check.
Yes, a check. You try to gather like a teeth, for example, or like a nail or whatever, but it's really hard. You are not be able to get it, and as you are not able to get it, you do sense the earth trembling even more.
I look at the rest of him like.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you run to flee for yourself, where do you want to go right now?
Do we feel the direction they're coming from?
No.
Too many people spoke at the same 2 seconds. I couldn't understand anything.
Do we feel the direction they're coming from?
They are coming from like the west.
The west. Oh. Well,
I said we go southeast.
Southeast.
Yes.
And puts us
Yeah, it
close.
means like this.
Yeah, to the cool balls.
Okay, yeah, let's go southeast. That gets us closer to Razor Hill.
Now I.
Or wait, can we just head straight towards Razor Hill?
You have all the right to go wherever you want. If you want to go to the west, you can have some fun too. But I don't recommend to go to the west just in case.
Well, I want to charge into the Kodos though.
Well, it's a bit sad that you died that way, but that's up to you.
Yeah.
Mufasa.
So Razor Hill or the Killboards?
Kill the ball.
Okay. Just the one thing to say, Deodori, you need that time to take the potion. You still have the potion in your inventory, and you take a long rest from the traveling. So, after traveling a lot, I want everybody to do a perception check to try to find the. No, rather a survival check to find the lair.
Survival. Let's see.
Go back to full health.
Yeah, you are full HP and so on because 2 days passed. Okay, even though Deodori did something quite amazingly, it's still I'm not sure if Anyo and Somoto outshined you somehow.
Yeah.
But I want to ask Anyo on your side, how much time do you have yet more?
Probably half an hour. I can do pretty easily. I'm alright today.
No problem. I will say that we will stop now because the dungeon it's not a coulda kill there. Yeah, that will be instantly. The kill bar is really more longer and so on. So do not stop it in the middle of the lair. We begin the exploration of the lair next week.
Hey.
You guys only roll once. I always roll like twice.
You can set on your sheet to if you go into your
Request.
options. Yeah, your options, and then on the left side of your options on that last tab of your sheet, you see class options, and below that general options, there's a roll query. If you change that to advantage toggle, and whisper toggle, you get some buttons at the top of your sheet, and you can change it to normal, and then that way you'll only roll once. And then if Hades tells us you have advantage, then you can click the advantage button and roll like that.
Yep. And with this, I hope that you enjoyed the session. Next week there will be more, and there will be more about the Twisted Fingers and their shenanigans.
Deodori has
So I like
resistance to so many types of damage, and she still has no HP.
Forgetting
Well-
the most important type of damage reduction. Physical.
Mm-hmm.
It means
Sorry.
being shot in the face by a fireball, but not being hit in the face by a hammer.
Yeah.
Well, it just means that the two Taurens need to put themselves in front of Deodori and be their bodyguards.
I don't have that much health either.
Stick by me. As long as use weapons, I can defend you.
Okay.
Also, how much armor are you on, Gorham?
Me? 20.
What's your armor class?
Not 20
Oh, dear
AC.
God. That's a bad sign.
Why?
I think I'm on 22.
What the fuck? How?
Because that armor was amazing.
I got +2 my armor class.
Got +3. Technically, kind of.
Yeah, Deodori.
Oh shoot! I just realized my constitution went up, so my max HP goes up too.
Yeah, that's I guess the only real shenanigans that we'll always do with the cartridges, the way that I do with the equipment thing is that you need to really to know when the numbers increase, decrease, and so on.
Yeah, no.
Which can be a bit annoying because you are not dealing with 3 equipment. You are dealing with 16 equipment.
Yeah.
I just gained 3 more max HP. From
So,
armor.
to answer something a bit earlier, Samuto, it's normal that you surpass the 20 on Dex. And the reason that I'm saying that is more that to do that. You right now you just got your first good equipment. A bit earlier you got like a magical item here and there, but nothing too surprisingly. But later on you will get a lot, and you will be able to defend yourself correctly as the danger becomes more serious. Like, just to give you